I've had this discussion with somebody recently about how people on the internet, especially Instagram models or celebrities, seem to be so perfect all the time. And, the whole cliche thing of that is what they want us to believe, but it's not the truth. And that we are so fixated on what is beautiful and what is perfect, which is usually something that we see on social media. And I thought it was quite thought provoking because I spoke to my mom as well. And my mom, had spoken to my gran about her birthday coming up, and my gran will be turning 18. My gran is feeling old and she's comparing herself to somebody else that she saw on social media. And this lady's like 94 and she's busy and she's working and she's like vibing and she's amazing. And my gran, is feeling quite despondent because at the age of 80, she feels like she can't do as much as this 94-year-old is doing. And my mum is like discouraging her, saying that those people out there, they are just there to remind you that they are so much more perfect than you, but actually they're probably giving the people at the old age home shit, and she's a difficult lady possibly, and they're just there to make you feel better about yourself. And that again is a thought-provoking conversation, because I don't necessarily agree with that. I said to my mom, if I look at my own page, I'm not there to make people feel bad about themselves. In fact, it's quite the contrary. I really want to encourage people, inspire people to look after themselves and to be proud of who they are. It doesn't matter what they look like, be happy in the shell, in the space that you are in. But it does lead one to think that we've got such a high expectation of what the word beautiful or perfect is. You look at on social media and you think, I want hair like that, I want a nose like that, I want clothes like that, I want the lifestyle like that, I want what you have. And we form such an idea and concept around what we think is somebody else's reality that we don't pause to think that that is actually what we post as our best side on social media. I mean, you're not going to ever post your shit side, are you? I'd like to believe that I am as real as possible most of the time, but I am still 100% human when it comes to wanting to post the best version of myself online. I don't want people to see the ugly morning side, and it's probably not ugly, it's human, it's normal, but at the same time, it's not what I would consider my best. But at the same time, it's really important to note that all of us are humans, and all of us go through different stages in our lives where we change and we see things differently, and we, want to accept things differently. The generation that I'm in now, we never had social media growing up, and it's some kind of new thing that we have to deal with and face. How do we even tell our children? How do we equip our children to know that what they see on social media is not necessarily always real? Though we all know this, we do it ourselves, don't we? I've thought about this quite some time now, and I think, my Instagram page especially is specifically more for my work. I post mostly just about my work. I hardly ever post anything about my personal life. And if you see anything personal, it would usually be on my storyline. And that's something that I'm comfortable with because it will disappear over 24 hours. And it's not for any other reason than that is my job. That is what I do. I am a very private person. I don't like people knowing about my business. I don't want people to know about my private life. But at the same time, as I said earlier on, I need to be as real as possible. I want people to feel inspired. I want people to feel motivated. I want people to look at me and think she's being real. And that's what I always aim to be. I am not perfect. I really am not perfect. I don't aim to be perfect as much as I want to always portray my best side. I am 41 years old. I go and have my lashes done. I have my nails done. I go to gym quite often to stay in shape. I have microneedling done. I'll have Botox done as much as I can afford to have it done. I'll have skin boosters done because it's really, really good for the skin, but I have to save up for all of that. My one boob is smaller than the other one. My right-hand side is smaller than my left-hand side. But there are implants. I was unfortunately not gifted enough to have big boobs when I was born. I've always been very, very, very flat, and that has affected my self-confidence, and I've decided to spend that money and have breast implants. That has helped my self-confidence in no words that I could possibly explain. It's just like, it's changed my life to have breasts, because I've always thought that I was a masculine woman. I had strong features and I didn't feel female enough until I had my breasts done. I have gone through many, many changes, body changes, and I have body hair that where I don't want them. I go for laser treatments to remove some body hair. I found hair on my chin. Like, what the fuck is up with that? I found stray hairs on my body, like by my boobs. Did you know that everybody's got hair on their perineum and around their bum hole? Like what you see on the internet is not real. So if you've got hair there, you're normal. I think that even my unibrow, I was born with a unibrow, so I have to have that taken care of every now and then. I have, my teeth are in a terrible state. I'm pretty much saving up right now to have my mouth redone because my teeth are in such a terrible state. I have pimples every now and then. I have polycystic ovary syndrome that causes horrible pimples. I have little hairs on my toes. I look like a hobbit if I don't look after that. I'm not perfect, and I will never ever pretend to be. I do whatever it takes to make myself feel pretty. I am good enough. I am more than good enough. I feel great if I look after myself and invest in myself. I'm not pretty though. I'm not perfect though. And I'll never pretend to be perfect. And nor should you. And you should never strive to have something that you're not born with. If you see somebody with a glistening smile that's not perfect, remember, it's not something that they were born with. Majority of the time, these people with the super white teeth, it's done. It's something that they paid for. I'm going to pay for it if I can, as soon as I can. You know, if you look at these women with beautiful breasts and they're all in proportion, they're not in proportion. Nobody's boobs are exactly the same size. Men have to get rid of nose hairs and ear hairs as soon as you hit your 30s to 40s, when testosterone changes in your body, even your 50s, you know, your body hair changes, receding hairlines and more hair in your ears and your nose. That is human. That is human. And I think that the more we face the fact that this is normal, and the more we get people that are real about it, the more we will accept the fact that, yes, there are beautiful people out there, but also remember that you put your own value, if you compare your own value to somebody that is on a social media editing platform, then you're actually setting yourself up for failure, because that's not real. And what you see on social media is most of the time not real. It's what people want you to see. But with that is my little nugget for today. Thank you for always supporting and following, and love to you all. I would really like you to think about this whole social media thing, because I think it's more and more evident that people feel cuck about themselves, shit about themselves, because they compare themselves with people on the internet that really works hard to look a certain way. And most of the time, know their lights and angles and posing, and you know, you always give your best side on social media, but it's not necessarily what it's like all the time. You know, we're all human. Those people that you see on social media, they have pretty much the same issues as most of us do. From going to the loo, to pimples, to hair, unwanted hair on certain parts of your body, to weird sized boobs. Think about that. Have a lovely evening.